So, another Eurovision video for 2018. I'm not going to sneeze during this one. I may cough. Please forgive me in advance. My cold is evolving. But anyway, this video is about the Swedish entry. Dance You Off, performed by Benjamin Ingrosso, and the Swedes are not evolving. If someone didn't pay attention, like only watched the show, you know, as normal people do. They watch the show, the next year they watch the show again, they don't follow the national selections, they don't listen to the songs in advance, what have you. Such a person could be forgiven for thinking that this song that the Swedes have submitted to the contest this year is the same song they sent last year. Just a little slower and more boring. But that is very typical of the Swedes in Eurovision. They have no originality. It's pretty much the same song that they sent again and again and again. Sooner or later it's got to pay off, and of course it does. Sometimes they manage to step outside their comfort zone, at least a little bit, but most often not. And as a Norwegian, I have to say, this is what makes us so much more interesting than them in a Eurovision context. Yes, we send lots of steaming piles of turds, but we send brilliant gems as well, and we send everything in between, and you never know what it is that you're gonna get from us. Whereas from Sweden, you always know what you're gonna get. I theoretically like this song. When I listen to it, I enjoy it. It has a good beat. It's just a shame that it's the same beat as last year. But I really don't like the entry. I don't know how they're going to present it in Lisbon. I hate the way they presented it in their national selection, which was just epilepsy-inducing. And way distracting. If you have a good song, you don't need all that bullshit. I loathe the way he couldn't put his jacket on properly. Seriously, this is, I'm sorry to say this is the mother in me, even though I'm not maternal, I don't have kids, I don't want kids, I don't like kids. I actively dislike kids, actually. But when I see Benjamin Ingrosso dancing in that performance, I just want to grab him, pull his jacket up properly, and shake him. Of course, this is a songwriting contest, and it's not a contest for whether someone can dress like an adult. But, yeah, and if this was someone who was not Swedish, or representing Sweden, during this, I probably would not have resented this as much. Yes, I'm big enough to admit that. It's just one of the many annoying things about this song. He looks like a total sleazeball. I don't like him. I think that his smirk is annoying. The lyrics don't make sense. I want to dance you off, which doesn't mean anything, but let's say I do want to dance you off, so don't you dare. Don't wait up. Yeah. The Swedes have a long tradition of sending lyrics in English that don't make sense. This is a fine addition to that long list. This entry is pretty high on the ranking for reasons that are incomprehensible to me. I'm sure they will get through from the semi. What can I say? This is something that could have been so much better with, well, let's face it, kind of major tweaks. The lyrics should be changed. The lyrics should be in Swedish. Why don't they ever sing in Swedish? If they ever do sing in Swedish, they change it to English by the time they get to the international final. Yeah, no, it's not that I don't like Sweden. I do like Sweden in many ways. I dislike them in many ways also. Some of their previous entries from earlier years are some of my all-time favorite Eurovision entries. Like Euphoria. I adore Euphoria. But I do have a higher standard for them than for a lot of other countries, because they are our brothers, supposedly. We shouldn't call them that. It's the Finns who are our brother people. But whatever. We call them our big brother. We should have high standards for them. They can do quality pop music. And this maybe is quality pop music. There are just so many annoying things about the entry that I almost can't see past. I hope they change it completely, because that whole thing with all the lights, the strips of light strobing in the background, the song is actually good enough that they don't need that. I'm willing to give them that. That is just distracting. It gives people epileptic seizures, and the song doesn't need it. I hope they'll change it. But of course, then again, I don't actually. I hope they keep all the annoying bullshit from the way they presented it in their national selections, because, of course, I want us to beat them. That is really all I need from our entry, for us to beat the Swedes. I believe that we can do that again this year. Sweden, try to be just a little bit. Try to walk on the wild side, just a little bit. You can do it. You don't need to send the same song every year. There are so many other songs out there. Please, don't be afraid to lose. It doesn't kill you. We know that. Greetings from Norway.